Hello, citizens of the realm. Today we are gathered here at the Ministry of National Faithism, formerly known as the Redverse Legion. And today I'm going to read out a call to action. This is the sound of the trumpet for keepers of the faith to assemble and claim what is rightly theirs. The Ministry of National Faithism. The current administration has failed to uphold the faith many times as a federally registered party wasn't permitted to speak and assemble at the so-called Redverse Legion. These people who occupy this current establishment would bring shame on the World War II veterans if they saw how they were acting, banning a nationalist party from assembling and speaking due to outside pressure. Your administration has no jurisdiction to say that we aren't allowed to enjoy the premise, and action outside of the court is permitted for the sake of holding this administration accountable. We have renamed it Ministry of National Faithism. Until you've shown yourselves to be keepers of the faith, this is the new name of the building. As Jehovah as our judge, we, the Canadian Nationalist Party, will gain entry as seen fit. As administration that is dependent upon brute force to whatever suits its agenda, while making a mockery out of the court system, has no lawful jurisdiction to charge us. Those who are keepers of the faith will inherit this building, not those who follow no higher principles. Legal due process has been subverted for ideological purposes in the highest courts, thus claiming independent lawful jurisdiction from their claims against the corporation Canadian Nationalist Party is in the best interest for a functioning democracy, especially when these so-called charges are against a federally registered party. When one is subjected to a higher undefined standard to prove that we are competent to make a case that despite the leader and sole director of the party, Travis Patron, is unable to make a claim against the city of Saskatoon for violating our common law rights. Then you turn around and make the claim, and make a hate speech claim, on a statement of opinion and not of evidence of hard fact. Then we believe beyond a reasonable doubt that the rule of law is being used in a political nature, not of one of hard evidence and following legal procedures. We demand an investigation from a higher power, whether that would be from Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, heir of King John, who is bound to uphold these clauses contained in the Magna Carta. And that if that fails, our argument will be made to the ultimate judge, Jehovah, in these matters. That the final judge, Jehovah, will carry out justice as all avenues of obtaining justice have been exhausted on this earthly plane. When it's proven beyond a reasonable doubt that there is treason being aided and abetted on all levels, the so-called Redverse Legion, Carlisle CNP detachment, Court of Queen Bench, and the city of Saskatoon, you are on notice, and you won't get away with your crimes. And while there's also rules as it pertains to when you're in the jurisdiction of the Ministry of National Faithism. Rule number 1, thou shalt love the Creator with all thy soul and heart and mind, and thy neighbor as thyself. Thou shalt not kill nor aid or abet in war in any way. Thou shalt not eat anything of flesh and blood. Thou shalt not consume any drink or drug of a natural stimulation of the body. Thou shalt not worship any graven image or any likeness anything that is in heaven or above and below the earth. Thou shalt not make an idol or a savior of any mortal man or woman. Thou shalt honor thy father and mother. Thou shalt hold in ownership of all things in communion with thy brothers and sisters of faith. Thou shalt not assert anything unless it can be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. Thou shalt not idle, but engage in industrious labor, save for the Sabbath day, which is reserved for rest. This is my statement of claim to the ultimate judge, Jehovah. I know you have listened to my claim, and you'll take into consideration as who will ultimately inherit this jurisdiction. Signing off, General Jonathon Vance.